The IceRays playoffs hopes come down to this weekend, and it'll be one final trip to Wichita Falls to decide if the IceRays do make the postseason. Welcome into IceRays TV. Collin Schuck with you, and the Corpus Christi IceRays, after success last weekend at home to close out their home schedule, will make one more trip to round out the 2015-16 regular season and try desperately to claim themselves a spot in the Robertson Cup playoffs. The IceRays, after the sweep of the Wichita Falls Wildcats here at home and some help for the Lone Star Brahmas on the road, are now tied with Odessa once again for that fourth and final playoff spot with just 2 games remaining this season. The IceRays are deadlocked at 56 points with the Jackalopes, but Odessa still owns the tiebreaker if the two teams end up even in terms of points at the end of the season. That tiebreaker is most wins, and the Jackalopes have one more win than the IceRays this season. However, things can change as we look forward into the postseason forecast, but we'll start first with a recap of last weekend and a very successful end to the home campaign here at the American Bank Center. A 3-2 overtime win against the Wildcats on Friday night, and then a 4-2 regulation win on Saturday to sweep the Wildcats. They pick up an overtime winner from Brad Power, who had 2 goals on Friday night, and the IceRays had 2 shorthanded goals for the first time this season and for the 4th time in junior franchise history on Saturday night, thanks to Brendan Miller and Brady Crabtree. It's also the 5th time too in IceRays junior franchise history that the team has had a multi-shorthanded goal evening, and the first since 2012-2013. And because of that and the help of the Lone Star Brahmas getting a split against the Odessa Jackalopes on the road, now the two teams are even with 2 games remaining. Now here is how everything can shake up. The IceRays need one more point than Odessa does heading in through this weekend, starting this Thursday night and Friday night. Now that can come in a multitude of ways, but the easiest way for the IceRays to do that is by winning out and hoping that the Amarillo Bulls can force Odessa to not get the full 4 points this weekend. Now, the IceRays can tie with Odessa and still make the playoffs just in one scenario. That is if the IceRays split in regulation with Wichita Falls, getting 1 win and 1 loss, and Odessa loses in overtime or a shootout in both games at home to end out the season. They would end with identical records, and they would end both with 60 points, and because of the third tiebreaker, which is head-to-head goal differential, the IceRays would be in the postseason. However, the IceRays have 5 wins at the K-Acre Coliseum against the Wildcats since the start of the junior franchise in 2010-2011, and on the other side, the Odessa Jackalopes are 7-2-1 against Amarillo this season and 3-0-1 at the Ector County Coliseum. So numbers don't favor the IceRays, but they didn't favor them last weekend either when the IceRays swept the Wildcats. So we can only hope the late postseason magic can go in the fortune of Corpus Christi. Games start at 7:05 p.m. on Thursday and Friday night. That's April 7th and 8th at the K-Acre Coliseum, and coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. on Sports Radio Corpus Christi. That's KSIX 1230 a.m. as well as on fasthockey.com. If you do want to make the trip up, the Wildcats are giving free tickets for both games, so all you have to pay for is travel and hotel rooms. So we invite you to come up to the K-Acre Coliseum and show your support for the IceRays. If not, we hope you join me radio side for the final radio broadcast of the 2015-16 regular season. Once again, for IceRays TV, this is Collin Schuck. We hope you join us radio side or at the Coliseum, but go IceRays.